the Honest Talk, Canada's fastest growing forum for women, featuring a national podcast, media site, and live event series. Now, Catherine Clark will be here with us, and she's going to talk about what's on the horizon for the Honest Talk in 2026 and how they continue to expand their impactful conversations around leadership and connection. Good morning to you, Catherine.
Well, hi, Rosie. How's it going?
It's going so well. I mean, this is
Awesome.
wonderful to talk to you as we start the new year, 2026. The Honest Talk is this kind of podcast that keeps growing and growing in popularity for the content of the podcast, really centering women and talking about everything honestly. Can you talk about how the Honest Talk has been growing and how has it been received in the past few months and now heading into the new year?
Well, first of all, Rosie, I just want to say a big thank you to you because you were an important part of our Women's Summit, our second annual Women's Summit, which we held just this past fall. You and your team at Bell have been integral to the success of the organization, but you were a wonderful host for one of our health panels. And it was kind of, that is an epitome of what we are at the Honest Talk. What we're really trying to do is to provide women with the information that they need to lead better, healthier, happier lives. We do that through the podcast that you mentioned, where we have these conversations with remarkable women who've achieved incredible things. Then we have our live events, which you were a part of and which many in the Ottawa region were a part of. We're expanding that nationally in 2026. And of course, we have the Honest Talk platform, our media site itself, which is updated daily with content for women. So our aim is really just to ensure that we create a community for women. And we are really proud to say that we're the largest forum for women, the fastest growing forum for women in Canada.
Well, it was a pleasure to be part of that Women's Summit right here in Ottawa a few months ago. It was empowering, it was energizing, and women came from really around the country to take part, to take in that event. Now, what can listeners expect in the coming weeks in regards to interviews and your podcast?
Yeah, we've got some great interviews lined up for the next few weeks. The podcast drops new episodes every 2 weeks. Our plan is to start 2026 with a look at women's finances. So we're going to be talking with money expert Melissa Leong, who is also part of our Women's Summit. And she is going to talk about the things that women need to know, the tips and tricks to keep in mind for managing your money in 2026. Because we are seeing that women are increasingly the power brokers when it comes to governing how money is spent, even in these tricky economic times. So that's one of them. We're also going to be speaking with General Jenny Carignan, who's the first female Chief of Defense Staff, a really extraordinary person in her own right. And we have a whole bunch of other podcast interviews coming up. And we also had a great chat with Indigenous Services Minister Mandy Galmasti, who has an incredible story, including having had her first child when she was a young teenager, and she has gone on to become a sitting cabinet minister in the federal government. So some great conversations coming up. Plus, we're launching our events nationally too. So we're pretty excited about that.
We're very excited here at CTV as well. Catherine Clark, it's such a pleasure to talk to you here. I will no doubt see you again in person in the future. Much success to you. Catherine Clark, one of the co-founders of The Honest Talk. The Honest Talk podcast is now out on iHeart Radio. Thank you very much, Catherine, and all the best in 2026.
And to you, Rosie.